Every day now, we're getting DC topics. Major trade sites are all talking about DC. It's amazing. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. Yeah, it hasn't slowed down for DC news. Almost every day, since the Batgirl cancellation, we've been getting news after news after news about either The Flash, the DC slate, Walter Hamada's tantrums. I don't know. There has been so much DC topics, and it's all coming from major trades like The Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, Variety, Deadline, you name it. They haven't stopped talking about DC at all. And today was a pretty big one. I mean, there were so many different topics, but I decided that the most important thing about this whole DC film situation or DC universe situation is that it's going to be a single universe. And it's supposed to start after the Flash movie. And even though David Zaslav has said that the Flash is a great film, it has tested well, it appears, according to the Hollywood Reporter and the sources they've talked to, the insiders within Warner Brothers Discovery, is that the Ezra Miller PR situation is directly affecting the movie. So according to that source with knowledge of what's happening in the studio, how true that is, I don't know. But there are three options for the Flash movie. First, Warner's has received indications that the 29-year-old Miller, whose mother has accompanied the actor in recent days, will seek professional help after returning home to their farm in Vermont after being away. If that happens, Miller, who goes by they, them pronouns, could give an interview at some point explaining their erratic behavior over the past few years. The actor could then do limited press for The Flash, and the movie would open in cinemas as planned. The second scenario, even if Miller doesn't reach out for help, Warner's could still release the film, but don't expect Miller to play a prominent role in terms of marketing and publicity, nor would Miller be the Flash going forward, as the role would be recast in future projects. And the third and final option, the situation with Miller deteriorates further. This would see Warner's killing the movie outright, as it could not be reshot with a different actor. Miller says multiple characters as in almost every scene. Scrapping a $200 million film would be an unprecedented move. And we've already seen them do unprecedented moves by scrapping Batgirl, which was over $90 million. But this situation really hasn't changed. I think these three options were already out there. People have been talking about almost the same three options from before. I'm thinking optimistically and positively that Ezra Miller could possibly do an interview, coming out clean, and be a part of the press for the Flash movie. Although I kind of think about the other scenario where he's kind of in the background and they push all the other actors from that movie forward. In which case, if they really want to less focus on the Flash, maybe they do change the title to, what was John Campia's idea? Batman Flashpoint? Or Flash Film News says Batman into the Speed Force? Or as someone else suggested, Justice League Flashpoint because there's Justice League characters in it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that all sounds like badass movies, but since this is mostly The Flash, I think it's still going to just be The Flash. Now, there was yet another DC article that came out from Variety today. Inside the confusing state of DC, from huge Joker 2 paydays to the search for their own Kevin Feige. And while most of this article, it seems like it's trying to get Walter Hamada back in the job or keep Walter Hamada in the job, I don't know. It just seems like Hamada had a role in this article here. But it does feel like this old regime is really curious and afraid of what's going to happen and what Zaslav is going to do. There are a few things in here that I found really interesting. For one thing is that they are saying that David Zaslav wants to have that single connected universe. And especially if he wants to kind of copy the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a single connected universe from the start, meaning there's only one Superman, one Batman, one Wonder Woman, so on and so forth. with the exception of two franchises that seem to be working out. The first one is Todd Phillips' Joker franchise. And because Warner Bros. Discovery post-merger actively greenlit Joker 2, then you know that movie is safe. In fact, it's so safe that the budget for Joker 2 is $150 million. That is double the budget of the first Joker. And if you remember, the first Joker budget was actually split between 3 different companies. Well, this new regime is putting a lot more faith into Joker 2. They are budgeting and funding it themselves, knowing that this Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga could potentially be another billion-dollar success. In this article, they even talked about Matt Reeves' The Batman. Apparently, and I didn't know this, Matt Reeves' The Batman sequel hasn't been greenlit yet, which is interesting because I thought the previous regime had said they did greenlit Batman 2. And they even said that the Batman sequel wouldn't even come out for a few years, which makes the whole single universe idea of having a single Batman make sense. In fact, some scoopers are saying that David Zaslav himself hates the idea of a multiverse. Right now, he wants that single connected universe. Does that mean within these few years before Matt Reeves' The Batman 2, we are definitely going to get another DCEU Batman movie? And I think that would probably be the idea. And you have to bet that when he's talking about single connected universe, it's either going to be a new one or more likely and hopefully the current DCEU version. That's right, Henry Cavill Superman movies, Ben Affleck Batman movies, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movies, Jason Momoa Aquaman movies, so on and so forth. At least that's what I'm hoping for anyway. But there was some more information in regards to who's gonna be that Kevin Feige role. And one of those names, I think you're gonna be kind of shocked. Apparently, Greg Berlanti, who oversees many of DC's television properties, has been loudly whispered as a possibility for that Kevin Feige role.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Okay, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, I can see if maybe Greg Berlanti was just involved in the process of connecting different movies together, making sure it's a single universe, making sure there is a final goal, a final enemy that, the Justice League has to face. Something like that. And maybe with a bigger budget, he could actually create something pretty awesome. But then again, within the same article, it said that, but no one from Warner Brothers has actually approached his camp. Berlanti has not pursued the job, and insiders believe that the superstar producer wouldn't be interested in going in-house. So at the end of this, it just does seem like Pamela Abdi and Michael DeLuca is still going to be in charge of this overall thing until they actually find a DC Films head. And speaking of Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, apparently, according to this article, they are trying to give many opportunities for Leslie Grace, including future DC films with Leslie Grace as Batgirl. Alright, what do you think about the idea of a single DC connected universe spanning through TV and film? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.